Donald Trump is trying to erase the graves of Black, Hispanic, and women veterans at the Arlington National Cemetery. Task and Purpose reports that the website for Arlington National Cemetery has unpublished links in lists of notable graves, walking tours, and educational materials pointing to Black, Hispanic, and women veterans, as well as Medal of Honor winners.
Arlington Cemetery scrubs the names of famous Black, Hispanic, and female heroes to comply with Trump orders? You want to vomit America? What the? You know what the word is. We need to speak out.
Hey guys, welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide, where we break down the stories shaking the internet. If you're new here, kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what we have in store. And for my returning viewers, you already know what to do. Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. So, Trump recently signed an order to get rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the government. And one place is feeling the impact: Arlington National Cemetery. They just removed sections of their website that highlighted Black, Hispanics, and female veterans. Now, the graves are still there, but online it's like they were never recognized. Let's take a look at what is happening.
We have some news right now. Arlington National Cemetery has stripped content on Black and female veterans from its website. Yes, this is real. This is part of the Trump administration's anti-DEI push. So Arlington National Cemetery has a notable graves section on its website. And according to the Washington Post and others, overnight, links to dozens of Black, Hispanic, and female veterans were removed. One such veteran was Hector Santa Anna, a World War II bomber pilot and career military leader who had been called a hero of the war. The website further no longer lists African American history, Hispanic American history, and women's history. Now, this comes just weeks after the Air Force had to reinstate a training course with the Tuskegee Airmen after originally no longer teaching that course because of anti-DEI policy executives from members of the Department of Defense.
So the latest in the cancellation of DEI efforts, the Arlington National Cemetery, yes, that one, the Veteran Cemetery. Listen to what this administration just pulled. Well, on the orders of Hegseth and Trump, Arlington National Cemetery has completely scrubbed their websites of anything mentioning African American history, Mexican history, and women's history as it pertains to veterans. They also scrubbed the website of words like freedmen and the Civil War. What? Now, these weren't just educational links. These were to commemorate important men and women of color who sacrificed for this country, who made history for this country.
This executive order has led to immediate actions, including placing federal employees working on DI programs on paid leave. Well, this abrupt shift has left many questioning the future of workplace diversity in government sectors. Now, the ripple effect extends beyond the federal workplace. Reports indicate that numerous U.S. companies are reevaluating their DI commitments, with some removing references to these initiatives from their public report. And the fear of potential repercussions under the new executive order is palpable. So, back to the situation at hand.
Arlington National Cemetery is a place that we all revere, or we all should revere. According to Task and Purpose, which is a website that focuses on the military, that cemetery has over 400,000 graves of U.S. service members, as well as 2 presidents, and over 400 Medal of Honor recipients. And also, according to Task and Purpose, the cemetery's public website has scrubbed dozens of pages on grave sites and educational materials. Wait for it. That includes histories of prominent Black, Hispanic, and female service members buried in the cemetery, along with educational materials on dozens of Medal of Honor recipients. The cemetery officials, they confirmed it. They said the pages were unpublished to most recent orders by President-elect Guy and the Secretary of Defense, targeting race and gender-related language and policies in the military.
Let's talk about Arlington National Cemetery. My husband's African American. I am Puerto Rican. I've had family who have fought in certain conflicts, not World War I or II, but definitely in the Vietnam conflict. My uncles are still alive that served, and so Obviously, they are not buried in Arlington National Cemetery. They're not buried at all. My husband's family, being African American, has fought in every conflict here in these United States, including the American Revolution. They have been here for hundreds of years. And his family on both sides have served this country with their hearts and their lives, on top of everything else they've been through in this country. So we learn that Arlington National Cemetery has been removing links to notable African American, Hispanic, and women soldiers who have served this country. And if you do not get offended at any of this, I think that something is wrong with you. This is in response to DEI. DEI has nothing to do with these people being noted. This has to do with them serving their country, giving their lives, being heroes in what we call the United States of America.
You all know Arlington National Cemetery has a rich history of honoring diverse individuals who serve the nation. For instance, Section 27 is the resting place for many African American soldiers, including U.S. colored troops from the Civil War. And you can imagine removing these stories feels like an attempt to rewrite history, and their contributions to America shouldn't be erased. Now, the removal of this content not only diminishes the recognition of these veterans, but also impacts ongoing effort to educate the public about the diverse history of military service in the U.S.
Every day I talk to you guys, I have different emotions about what I'm talking about. Sometimes I'm kind of amused. Sometimes I'm plain confused. Sometimes I'm troubled, but rarely am I angry. And today I am. So let me explain why. Arlington National Cemetery has decided to scrub its websites of all prominent features of Blacks, Latinos, and women. This is all part of President Trump's push to remove anything he believes involves diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, from the federal government. A spokesperson for the cemetery said that it removed internal links directing users to web pages listing the dozens of notable graves of Black, Hispanic, and female veterans and their spouses. Now, it doesn't remove it totally. It just removes it prominently. You can still find these stories, but you have to use the search function. So in other words, you have to know what you're looking for in order to find it. So, who does it affect? Just think about some of the people that are featured on the website. General Colin Powell, you've heard of him. He's the youngest and the first Black chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Hector Santa Anna, a World War II B-17 bomber pilot, a Berlin airlift pilot and career military leader. Members of the Tuskegee Airmen, their stories, the country's first Black military airman whose accomplishments during World War II were legendary, flew 1,800 missions. And members of the 68th 88th Central Postal Delivery Battalion. You've heard about them too. That name might not be familiar, but they just made a movie about it, starring Kerry Washington. These young ladies, all Black, all female, Women's Army Corps unit to serve overseas during World War II. There was a severe backlog in the mail, and getting mail to soldiers during World War II was a huge morale issue. These women figured it out. Their stories all being scrubbed. All being scrubbed. Now, like I said, the biographies of all these prominent people can still be accessed through other internal links. But you have to know it by category, right? And you have to be able to type it into the search function. So why am I angry about this? Look, I served. My wife served. I met her in the military. My oldest son served. My father served. My grandfather, several uncles and cousins all served. Right? And the one thing that I know, when you serve and you have the opportunity to be buried in Arlington, all the other stuff, all the inequality in this country that everyone suffers, once you're buried there, you're equal. Every single person in that cemetery, regardless of race or gender or religion or anything like that, they all bleed red. That's the one place where you rest and you're equal.
You know, this is beyond disrespectful. We are talking about men and women who literally gave their lives for this country, who fought, sacrificed, and died believing they were defending a nation that stood for freedom and justice. And now, the same country is trying to erase their legacy. Like, how does that make sense? And now, instead of honoring their service, their stories are being wiped away like they never existed. It's not just wrong, it's shameful. You know very well history matters, representation matters. When you start erasing people from official records, from memorials meant to honor them, what message does that send? That their service wasn't as valuable? That their sacrifices meant less? Because that's exactly how it feels. All I can say is this is about respect, it's about recognition, and it's not just about a website update. It's also about making sure future generations know the truth about who fought for this country. I don't know about you, but this is very wrong. We owe it to these soldiers, blacks, Hispanics, women, all of them, to remember their names, their stories, and their sacrifices. Anyway, let me know what you think. Do you agree that this is an injustice, or do you see it differently? Kindly drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We are keeping these conversations going, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. So until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep speaking up. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.